after practice, so we had a really heated, great day Saturday together. I think we had about 126 plays and lots of good stuff off of the videotape to coach off of. Intense, back and forth. You know, I was happy with where we were after that day. I don't know if I told you, Thursday was a little sloppier than I liked, but Saturday was clean. Today had another good one, so you know, 2 padded practices. You know, we'll see what the videotape looks like today, but some good stuff back and forth. I thought today the offense came out strong, then started to fade a little bit. And obviously the defense didn't start off as good as I'd like it to be. Again, we'll look at the videotape, maybe there's a good reason. But then the defense finished strong at the end. So, questions?
How's the offensive line with the new guys shaping up?
You know, I think pretty good. I mean, after 2 days, I was, you know, I look in there, you know, I feel like we're running the ball better than we did a year ago. Again, is that good for the offense, bad for the defense? You know, I think you really find out when it's live. I think, you know, we've had a total of 18 plays live in 2 days. We had 9 plays on Saturday. We had 9 plays today, this morning. So I think, you know, looking at it that way until it's live, you know, sometimes defense, like today, I think the defense was great. And again, I may have made them a little softer today because I, you know, put on 9 plays of we need to take care of each other better when it's thud. You know, guys tackling people when it's thud. So, you know, maybe I coached them up too hard, which is good because we got to stay safe. You know, we don't need guys getting tackled and bodies on the ground and losing guys to injury in the spring. So maybe I took a little bit of the edge off of them, I guess. But 2 good days. I'm happy with the O-line so far. We'll find out Saturday scrimmage. You know, we go out in shells on Thursday, get to Acrisure on Saturday, barring that the weather is good. Get to see what we really have that day. I think when you go live for a whole scrimmage, you find out what you have.
You have a fully live scrimmage at all?
I'm sorry?
We have a fully live scrimmage at all before the spring game?
Saturday it'll be live the whole time. You know, we'll get 100+ plays, whatever, it'll be live. Oh yeah.
What about the defensive ends? Some of the newcomers impressing you now that you had pads on?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the new guys have done a nice job. You know, I mentioned, you know, Maverick has done a nice job. Gracio, he's using his hands better than he was in the spring. You know, he's a new guy, but he's not a new guy. So I've seen some spurts out of him. I really like what I see there. Joey Zielinski's done a nice job. You know, Jaden's done a nice job as well. So all those guys are what we thought they were or more. So I'm happy with really where we are there, and I think that spot is better right now than it was a year ago this time.
The offensive line, we talked to some of those transfer guys. They mentioned versatility, but you feel like you're settling them into certain spots that they should focus on.
Yeah, in the spring for sure. I mean, those new guys, you can't give them, I want you to play left tackle, right tackle, and center. So, we've got, right now Percy at the left tackle right now, Staley at the left tackle as well. Just letting them, get used to it. We do some rotating as well with the 1s and 2s. And Keith is playing, left guard as well. So we kind of, really we got to focus on the left side right now and get some consistency there. Let them, get their feet on the ground.
Ryan Bear mentioned that there's a bit of an extra intensity in the OL room simply because, they were very disappointed in how they as a room performed at the end of last season. So I'm curious if you've noticed that extra intensity.
I don't notice it but it's good that, he's saying it. I mean, those, they take it personal. When they don't protect the quarterback or run the ball like you'd like. I know Coach Darbo's been after them. And again, it's not just their fault. It's running backs, cuts, it's tight ends. But, you want those guys to take accountability. It starts up front with those guys all the time. I think offensive and defensive. So you want them to take accountability for exactly what's going on up there. We got to be better across the board. But it's good that it starts there for sure.
One of the guys that seems to have flown under the radar with all the transfers and freshmen coming in the receiver room is Zion Feller. What are some of the things you've noticed about him?
Well, he's grown up a little bit, maybe a lot. I remember, sits right up there. I remember, first month, he's come a long way that way. Again, I think everybody matures at a different spot, but he's got really good athletic ability. He can make plays. He's had, he's put 4 good practices under his belt. Again, we just got to keep the consistency and doing all the right things, on that field.
Yeah, that receiver room is pretty young. Is Kenny kind of gravitating to teaching some of the younger guys? How do you feel that room is progressing?
Yeah, I mean, it's young, but it's old. I mean, you got some guys that have played a little bit of football, Blue, Katarius. and span. So we've got some older guys in there that are new, but they're older. But Kenny's the leader of that group right now, without a question. He's taking control, I think, at this point. He's coaching them up, and he's vocal. He's leading.
Do you feel like you got what you needed out of the receivers last year in terms of big plays, explosiveness?
I think it would have maybe gotten better had we not had, quarterback and O-line issues at the end of the year, but it's never where you want it to be, no. So I'd say we'd like to be more explosive than we were a year ago, Chris.
Eli, I was watching today, Eli had a little bit of an emotional outburst today when he was doing the drill, he was running the ball, and he had that bar thing, and again, and then he threw the ball, he screamed and threw the ball against the back fence. Has he been showing that kind of passion, that kind of emotion?
Yeah, I don't know what the outburst was. I wish he would not go underneath. He's too tall to be going. Those are for little running backs to go through. He shouldn't be going through that chute. That's what we call him. He just probably saw you over there, Jerry, wanted to get excited and show you can throw it through the wall. I guess I don't know. Eli's he's emotional and he's intense. And he's got some swag to him. And I think the guys feed off that as well.
Thinking back up to Eli last week, but how has Julian grown from this time last year when he first went in?
He's like a big boy. Last year he was a little boy. Last year, there was times he's supposed to go in, he's kind of hanging back, and he knows it. He's night and day from where he was a year ago. And I think that bowl game did wonders for him. We know we played darn well except for that that one pass he threw, and missed tackle after that. But he's grown him a lot. We're really happy with what he's done. Since December.
Does your mad scientist offense coordinator have some packages for Duggar?
I think that question was asked last week. I think Amanda was way ahead of you and asked that question.
She always did, that's okay.
You might not have been paying attention. You got ADD like me. But we'll have some packages. Again, Mason's doing well as well. For a true freshman, he picks things up well. He makes good decisions. He's got a quick release. We're happy with really all three of those guys.
Was Duggar one of those guys though that was, they talk about a gamer? Like, did he show you something in that game that he hadn't shown you in practice throughout the fall?
Well, I don't think it's kind of like he didn't show it in spring, maybe a little in the fall with limited reps. Just because you're getting the two guys ready, right? So I would say we didn't see what you saw, and again, you knew he could throw the ball well. You knew but he's just grown up in the last few weeks, and he had to grow up real quick in that bowl game. And he did a nice job, and we're happy with where he is, and he's still got a ways to go. He's not there yet.
Yeah, we asked you about the offense last week, but how about your relationship with Cade and guys kind of understanding each other, knowing what each other is thinking? How much has that grown? Where would you describe that relationship?
Yeah, I think you add a year onto it. It's just all the videotape that we watched during the winter. All the self-scout. All the look at who we were, what we did, what we can do better in all phases offensively. I think it just continues to grow. Again, he continues to grow as a coordinator, the leader of our offense. So I think I think every year is a little bit better. He learns maybe from some of the older guys on the staff, including me, which is great. He's always willing to continue to learn and get better. That's a positive.
With his extension, he could be your OC longer than any other OC you've had. Why is that?
Well, a lot of guys have had extensions, whatever, but we're fortunate to have our entire staff intact. I don't know how often that's happened. Maybe you guys could do a study on that, but to have all 10 assistants, coaches come back and get extensions is a good thing. So everybody got extension.
Anything else? All right.
Perfect.